From Inferno by Dante Alighieri. Translated from the Italian by Claire Louise Harmon. Canto 4. A hard thunder broke my sleep. As if roused by a god, I stood up straight. My rested eyes moved about, seeking acquaintance with place. I found myself on the edge of a chasm, a sinkhole of anguish, one that welcomes infinite grief. So dark and deep, so hazy that even my penetrating vision couldn't make out a thing. We descend now into this sightless world. My guide, totally pale, said, and then continued, "I'll go first. You follow second." I saw him drain his colour. I asked, "How can I go? You're afraid. You who've confronted me through all my doubts." He replied, "It's the pain of the people down there that empties my face. It's pity that you've mistaken for fear. And it's the long way that pushes us now. Let's go." He started, and me, I followed, into that first circle that surrounds the abyss. It was dark, and so, by listening alone, I knew it was not weeping, but sighs that tremored this unbounded air. It was grief without martyrdom that disturbed them. This great and varied many, of infants, of girls, of mothers and men. My teacher to me, "Don't you wish to know the shades you see before you? Go ahead. They're not sinners, though even if mercy was given, it wouldn't be enough. They were never baptized, never could pass through the door to the faith you want to believe, never able to rightly adore God. They came before, and of these I am the same. It is only for this defect that we are lost. Without hope we live on in desire." When I heard of these people suspended in this limbo, a leaden grief seized my heart. "Teacher, tell me, sir," I began, with longing to be sure of the faith I thought could win any error. "Are some left out in thanks to their merit? That is, were there some that he blessed later?" And my teacher, for whom I intended my whispered speech, responded, "I was newly in this state when he came, that profounded one, with the sign of victorious coronation. He called up the shade of the first parent of Abel, his son, and that of Noah, that of Moses, obedient lawgiver, those Abraham, the patriarch, and David, the king, Israel too. With his father and with his children, that of Rachel for whom he did so much, and many others that he blessed, before them no human soul had yet been saved. We continued while he spoke, passing through a forest, one not of trees, I say, but thick with longing shades. Not far from where I once had slept, I saw a fire win a hemisphere of darkness. We were far, but not so much that I could not see. Honourable people held this place. My teacher, you who honour both science and art, how is it that these shades part themselves in this manner?" And him to me, "The honour of their names, sounding still in your life above, grants them grace in heaven, that then distinguishes them here." As he spoke, a voice was heard, "Great poet, you who journeyed, now return." It then fell silent and quiet. I saw 4 great shades, not sad and not content, coming towards us. My teacher, "Note the one with sword in hand, who comes before the 3 as leader. This is Homer, the sovereign poet. The other is Horace, the satirist, Ovid is third, and Lucian is last. They are in accordance, in the name sounded, by that solo voice. Thus they honour me, and they do it well. And so it was like this that I saw assemble that beautiful school, that of the highest form, the highest lord, whose coasts like the eagle flies above all others. They reasoned together, then turned to me. With a nod of greeting, my teacher smiled. Still, more honour did they grant me. I was welcomed, as one of their array. I was the sixth within so much wisdom, and so we went, toward that hemisphere of light, speaking about things on which now it is far better to be silent. We came upon the foot of a noble castle. A stream defended its outskirts. After that a high wall, wrapped 7 times around. We walked the first barrier, as if it was hard earth. We passed through 7 doors. We reached a meadow, verdant and crisp. There were people there, eyes slow, solemn. They spoke rarely. They did so with sweetness. They had the semblance of a great authority. We took to one side, to an open place, high and luminous, such that below all the many could be seen. There, upon the gleaming green, I was shown the great many shades. To see them was to encounter my most exalted self. I saw Electra with her many companions, Hector and Aeneas, Caesar himself, falcon-eyed and armed. I saw Camilla and Penthesilea. I saw King Latinus, who sat with his daughter. I saw Brutus, from whom Tarquin fled, Lucretia, Julia, Marcia, Cornelia. I saw Saladin alone, apart. When I had lifted more my lids and lashes, I saw the master of those who know, sitting among his family of philosophers. All looked to him, all honour to him. Nearest to him I saw Socrates and Plato. I saw Democritus, who placed the world at chance, Diogenes, Anaxagoras, Thales, Empedocles, Heraclitus and Zeno. I saw Dioscorides, collector of qualities. I saw Orfeo, Cicero and Linus. I saw moral Cena, Euclid, the geometrician, and Ptolemy, Hippocrates, Avicenna and Galen. I saw Averroes, who made the great margins. I cannot recount all in full, to say too much, too many times. My theme is long, the sextet cleaved, leaving 2. My wise teacher led me another way, out of this quiet, into that trembling air. I come to the place where nothing shines ever.